This story begins like so many others end, with the body of a woman discarded, forgotten by the world, but remembered by fear, by silence, and by those of us who refuse to look away. Her name was Rania Alayed, a mother of three, a woman who dared to dream of independence. She was murdered by her husband, and it wasn't just a domestic tragedy, it was an honor killing. Now, I know what some people are thinking. Honor killings in the UK, but that's something that happens somewhere else, in some third world country, maybe. No, it's happening here, and it's happening now. In Manchester, in Solihull, in Watford, in Rotherham, in London. Quiet neighborhoods, just like yours or mine. Behind closed doors and drawn curtains, there are women and girls living in terror, not from strangers, but from their own families. Honor killings are not random acts of violence. They are premeditated murders committed by family members, people meant to love and protect, all because they believe someone has brought shame to their family or community. Most of the victims are women and girls, young, vibrant, full of life, who dare to choose who they love, what they wear, or how they live. It is a twisted, brutal response to independence, and it knows no borders, no one race, no one religion. In the UK, these killings have taken lives from South Asian, Middle Eastern, African, Eastern European, and yes, even white British families. This is a British issue, a human rights issue. Today, I want to tell you their stories, not just the headlines, the lives, the warning signs, and the deafening silence that lets it happen. Let's start in Solihull, 2018. Raneem Oudeh was just 22, a Syrian refugee who fled one war only to face another in her own home. She'd left her abusive husband, Jabaz Tareen, an Afghan national. He had stalked her, threatened her. She reported him to the police multiple times. She warned them he was dangerous. She cried for help, but help never came. One night, outside her home, he stabbed her to death. Her mother, Khaola Saleem, died next to her, trying to protect her daughter. 2 generations lost in seconds, silenced on the street, and the system failed them. 2014, Watford. Shahena Uddin was just 19, a British Bangladeshi. Unfortunately for her, the teenager was married into a home where love was replaced by punishment. Her husband and his family kept her a prisoner. They beat her, starved her, controlled her every move. The day she died, they tried to cover it up, claimed that she choked on food. But the autopsy told the truth. She had suffered a slow, cruel death inside her own home, where she should have been safe. Shahina didn't choke. She was slowly destroyed by those closest to her. In 2013, Rania Alayed, a Palestinian woman in Manchester, was killed by her husband after enduring years of abuse. His motive was that she had begun to carve a life for herself, taking English lessons, making friends. She was finding herself, getting out of his control. That act alone was seen as a threat. It was enough for her husband to end her life. He planned it, he executed it, and for years he would not disclose where he had hidden her body. Her crime? Daring to be free, wanting a new life on her own terms. Once arrested, he refused to tell the authorities where her body was, denying her loved ones, her children, his own children, that closure, and denying Rania a proper burial. After years of search, Rania's remains were finally found on February 2025. These aren't isolated cases. 17-year-old Laura Wilson from Rotherham was stabbed to death by her ex-boyfriend, the first known white British victim of an honor killing. Harriet Sues, a Hungarian migrant killed and hidden by her partner. While not a traditional honor killing, her case speaks volumes about the vulnerabilities migrant women face. Then there is Banaz Mahmod. Her story shook the nation. A 20-year-old Kurdish woman from London. On paper, she did everything right. She left her abusive arranged marriage, hoping for freedom. She went to the police, not once, not twice, but 5 times. She named the men who wanted her dead. No one listened. Her complaints were brushed aside, and she paid for their negligence. She was raped, tortured, and murdered by her own family. Her father, her uncle, and her cousins. Her body was found in a garden in Birmingham. Her sister, Bakel, testified against her own family, wearing a veil, the first woman in the UK to do so. Shafilea Ahmed. Her story breaks hearts. Shafilea Ahmed lived in Warrington. In 2003, when she was just 17 years old, her parents drugged her and flew her to Pakistan to force her into marriage. Shafilea was bright, ambitious. She wanted to achieve something for herself, so she resisted this arrangement. She fought her way, came back to the UK, sick and frightened. Her family tried to force her once more. When she resisted again, they murdered her, smothered her with a plastic bag. Her own parents killed her, snuffed her breath out like she didn't matter, all because she wanted to live on her own terms, wanted to achieve something. That was her crime. Her birthday, July 14th, is now the National Day of Remembrance for victims of honor-based violence. Is this what honor looks like? This is not culture. This is not faith. This is violence. This is control. It's murder. You might wonder, how can this keep happening in modern Britain? It's happening because silence is deadly. Families cover it up. Communities protect reputations rather than holding the perpetrators accountable. Victims are isolated, cut off from friends, support, and even the internet. They are told that speaking up will destroy their families, that seeking help is betrayal. Abusers use fear, shame, and manipulation. They twist religion, they twist traditions. And sometimes the institutions that are supposed to help fail. Police miss red flags, social workers aren't trained, reports get ignored. By the time someone listens, it's too late. Even today, there is no clear statutory definition of honor-based abuse, so it slips through the cracks. Women cry for help, they beg, and they die unheard. But change is possible, and it is slowly happening, thanks to survivors, campaigners, and frontline organizations. Charities like Karma Nirvana, IKWRO, the Halo Project, they provide safe houses, legal advice, and 24/7 support for those who are trying to escape. The UK has made forced marriages a crime. Police training is improving. Awareness is growing. Schools are starting to talk about it. Some community leaders are trying to break the chain. But it's not enough. We need clearer laws. We need frontline workers, teachers, doctors, officers trained to spot the signs. We need better protection and community education to challenge the toxic myth of honor. We need proper channels to track and prosecute honor-based violence. And above all, we need to listen to the victims. If you have made it this far, thank you. This is not just about women killed in the name of honor. It's about a system that lets them down. It's about silence that costs lives. But we can change that. We can choose to see, to hear, to act. If you or someone you know is in danger, please reach out. You are not alone. There is help. Let's honor the victims, not with silence, but with truth, with justice, with change. Raneem, Khaola, Shahena, Rania, Banaz, Shafilea, Laura. Say their names, share their stories, break the silence. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay vigilant. I'll see you in the next one.